Maha, thank you so much for joining this. In fact, this is my very first Zooming in show. I'm
Oh,
really,
okay.
really happy to be starting the show with you. Yeah.
Thank you, Deepa, for inviting me to your chat show. I'm really, really happy to be here, to be chatting with you. Um, and I'm really honored to be the first person to be interviewed in your chat show. I really appreciate that.
People in and around Houston, they may know who Mahakrishnan is. For someone who is going to be watching you for the seeing you for the very first time. So who is Maha? How would
Okay.
you describe yourself?
Maha is one very crazy, passionate, um, creative person who's
Mhm,
always looking to do different and meaningful things in life, in a nutshell.
mhm,
I'm a trained musician.
mm,
And I actually worked in the corporate world for over 15 years. I have a master's in economics and MBA. And
mm,
for a long time, I was doing business and market analysis.
mhm,
And I was singing during the weekends as a student to make extra cash. So I would travel to different cities with different bands and perform. But then I always felt like I needed to do something more, and which is when we moved to India, like for a brief assignment. My husband took up an assignment in Mumbai, and we were there. And I quit my job and I pursued my other interests. So I was doing singing full time. I went back to Hindustani vocal music training. I took
mhm.
training from Ghulam Mustafa Khan Saab in
Wow.
Mumbai. And I
Mhm,
also pursued my Carnatic training from Srimati Lalita Shivakumar in Chennai. And then while I was like singing and doing albums, I did like fusion albums. I was doing stage shows. I got pulled into modeling and acting as well.
mm.
And then we had to come back to the US. So when I
Oh.
moved back, I did not go back to my 9 to 5 job. So what I did was I started my school, ShreeKrithi, School of Music, with the intent of actually training children and young adults. Um,
Okay.
and a lot of my friends would always come and tell me, "Hey, Maha, we want our kids to learn Indian music, but they don't have the patience to sit through a hardcore Carnatic class or a Hindustani class, but they all want to sing Bollywood,
Mhm,
right?" So I said, okay, probably there is like a niche. I mean, there is like a demand to learn light music. Like, how would you train your voice to sing like a
mhm,
ghazal or a bhajan or, a Bollywood number or a Tamil movie song? So I started this school with my Rakhi brother, Sandeep Kumraut. So he moved to Houston in the
okay.
year 2017. And we
Mhm,
started this together, and it's knock on wood, it's been a great venture so far. And
mhm,
what surprised me, Deepa, was not just young musicians, young adults, but we also started getting a lot of uh, adult students, like students, like 40 and over.
mm,
So during COVID, you have a lot of time to kind of think and reflect, and you kind of almost thinking, okay, what do you want to do? Okay,
mhm,
um, so I reached out to the Shankar Mahadevan Academy Trust, um, and I've always wanted to get into social causes. I always wanted to, um, like spend time with like terminally ill patients, go sing for them,
oh,
like maybe sing Tirupugar or sing Krishna bhajans,
mhm,
or just sing old Tamil songs. I've always wanted to do that. So in my research, I came across the Shankar Mahadevan Academy Trust, and
mhm,
I reached out to them. And what started with an initial exchange of ideas and emails actually blossomed into a beautiful partnership. because
Wow.
within, like, I think the first meeting or so, we realized that, our missions are perfectly aligned, and we both are out there, to make a difference through music. What do we want? We want to bring joy to people through music, right?
Right.
um, so one thing led to the other, and we talked about the different causes that we can support. And I
Mm-hmm.
said to myself, instead of recreating the wheel, right?
Mm-hmm.
Why don't I just piggyback? And they've been really awesome. I mean, they've been so awesome in supporting me in this initiative. Then I said, why don't I just join, piggyback on their infrastructure? So they have identified the social causes. They have people devoted full time to these causes. They have systems in place. They
Mm-hmm.
just have, everything from soup to nuts. It's all there. And so really, I mean, they've been very supportive. So all I'm doing is, I'm the US partner to raise funds for the causes that are close to our hearts.
And
Mhm.
tell me about this cause, the you're trying to raise funds, which is
Mhm.
happening, the live event is happening
Yes,
on Thanksgiving Day, right? So can you
yes.
tell me more about that?
So this fundraiser is very, very close to my heart. And this is our first partnership with
Mm-hmm.
the Shankar Mahadevan Academy Trust. And this is going to be benefiting musicians, aged musicians that are very badly impacted, especially now because of COVID. And
Hmm.
so hopefully we will raise good amount of money to support these musicians, to provide some basic necessities like medical help, like food and shelter kind of initiative.
Hmm. Because I just saw a poster and I got really, no, I was like so impressed that,
Thank you,
in
Deepa.
fact, you know what? I saw a video by Shankar Mahadevan where he's talked about that you are his partner here in
Yes,
ShreeKrithi school,
yes.
here in US.
And I do want to share with everyone out there that we all know Shankar Mahadevan has, he has a golden voice, right? But he's also someone with a golden heart. And it
Hmm.
is so evident, especially when you work closely with the trust and with the academy, and when you kind of get to know the kind of work they do to raise awareness, to support the lesser privileged. So it's not just the SMA Muskurahat. They have extraordinary outreach efforts. They support like mentally challenged children, like children with autism, then terminally ill patients, cancer
Hmm.
patients. So it's just amazing efforts. And you need a visionary and a man with a huge heart to do that kind of work. And Shankarji is doing that with his incredibly capable, talented team. And I'm just so happy, blessed, and proud to be associated with a team like that.
Okay. Can you tell me, Maha, like what exactly is going to happen on that
The
event?
26th. Okay, yeah.
26.
So, sure. So, the concept is doctors to musicians. So, 13
Okay.
of my doctor students are going to be performing that
Mm-hmm.
day. And
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to give away the concept, but so all these doctors, they are frontline workers. They have been extremely busy. They worked with COVID patients, and I'm so glad that as their teacher, I was able to give them this unique opportunity to perform.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so they're going to be singing and raising funds. So they have reached out to their network of doctors, their network of physicians, and to raise money. And I'm doing my part, and now you're doing your part. So looks like everybody's coming together for a great cause. So that's what is going to happen on Thanksgiving at 9 p.m.
Mm-hmm.
Central CST. So Shankar ji will be there, and then he will be pretty much interacting with my students and giving them feedback, about their music. and whatnot.
Oh,
Yeah, yeah,
so basically 13 of your students who happen to be doctors, they are going to be singing on 26th,
correct.
and Shankar Mahadevan is going to be listening to them and giving them feedback. And whoever is going to be watching the program live, they can donate,
Donate.
right?
Yes.
And this all the money we are going to raise on that day, it is going to go to the
Uh,
aged musicians, right?
yes, yes.
In India, in
In
India,
India,
correct?
yes. And over the next, I think 1 month or so, we will be giving you more updates as to, who actually received the money, how did it impact their lives, and maybe thank you notes, from the beneficiaries. So we will be providing all those details over the next month
Hmm.
or so.
And I'm really, really happy, Maha, that your ShreeKrithi School of Music has joined hands with the Shankar Mahadevan Academy Trust in this wonderful initiative,
Thank you.
SMA Muskurahat. No,
Mus-
Muskurahat.
yes,
How do you say that?
Muskurahat.
How do you Muskurahat?
Muskurahat.
I don't speak Hindi. What is that? Can you explain? Muskurahat?
Muskurahat is smile in Hindi.
Okay.
So to basically bring smile back on their faces. That's what it means.
Oh,
Muskurahat.
lovely.
Yes. Yeah.
Oh, definitely. Through this initiative, you are going to bring smiles on not just one person. There are so many musicians out there in
Yes.
India. I'm very sure that you'll be able to raise a lot of funds. And
Thank
in fact,
you.
here I want to talk about like the people here in the US looking at the dollar rate. So even if we give $5 or $10 from each person, each family, that is just convert that. You know
Right.
how
It's a
much?
lot of money
A
in
lot
Indian
of
rupees.
money.
Yeah.
Yeah, Indian rupees.
Yeah. Yeah.
So people who are watching, please open your heart, open your wallet, please
Yes.
donate. So, Maha, thank you so much for your time. And I wish you and Shankar Mahadevan Academy all the very best for
Thank you.
this fundraiser.
Thank you so much for your good wishes and blessings, and really very nice of you to invite me to your talk show this afternoon. And like time is of the essence, so I know this is going on air on Thursday, and thank you for doing this today, so more people will see and will create
To
more
see that.
awareness. Right? Yeah.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much. And like I said, this is just the beginning. I really want to do more. Like I said in my post, no amount is small. Even
Hmm.
$1 will make a huge difference.